Good morning, friends. Today we get to talk about stress, sleep, and emotions. And this one's actually going to be pretty good. I think. I actually have come upon a couple things that I've been helping specific friends with stress, and then also some things on the sleep side of things. So I guess I have a couple new stories to kind of hopefully I'll remember to share them at the appropriate time. Well, you are going to want to kind of pay attention to some of the things, and you're going to want to show that you're paying attention to the things that we're talking about, because you get free stuff when you do that. And so I would like to let you know how to make sure you can comment so that we can recognize how well you're paying attention and therefore get the credit. Now remember, if you aren't watching this live, you can email the answers to the questions, and you can still earn your diffuser that way as well. But if you are watching live, and it's kind of fun to be able to kind of comment and see, you know, some of the things that you have to share as well. So what you'll do while you're watching, if you're on your mobile device, you would just tap the screen so that the controls appear, and you'll see this bar here. And when you click on participants, it'll see at the bottom either chat or invite. So you can invite a friend to watch if they're not already signed on. And but the chat part is where you're gonna, you know, type out something and hit the send button. And then you'll know if other people are commenting if you see the little bubble on top of the participants thing on the bottom of your screen. So that's how you connect with me while we're on. Now, if you need to connect with me afterwards, you're going to want to send an email to enamouredwithnature@gmail.com. You can often find the replays of these on YouTube under Amanda Dumas. And some other ways that you might want to take a look and get involved are the Enamored with Nature Oil Education page. And if you do already have your account with doTERRA through anyone under this umbrella, then the Our Essential Oil Place is a great way to get some of your questions answered. And and if you're not already hooked into that, you will want to be. So, you know, get with me or Marcella or whoever, you know, helped you get your account started to make sure you get added into that. Okay, one other thing that you'll probably want to know is about these email reminders or text reminders. You can automatically be sent the link to it, so you're always in the know. This is not spammy. It does, you know, either come to your text or email, but it's not annoying. It's like once or twice a week that you get something, and I keep it super short. It comes directly from me. Now, you would just use the number 81010. You bring it up on your phone, as in if you're sending a text to 81010. And if you're around the Orlando area and may come to some of the live events at some point when we start those up again, you're going to send the text, the @ the lovely V, that's a lovely local village. If you happen to be one of my far-flung friends, then you're going to do the @ and far and loved to that same number. That way you don't get anything annoying. Be like, are you coming tonight? You can park in the cul-de-sac, you know, or whatever kind of things, if there's no chance of you coming to a live thing. So that's how to get a hold of me. And by the way, for the remind, there are ways for you to choose what you prefer in terms of if you like to have the link sent to you through email or text. So you're gonna get into the account menu and do the notifications for whether you like it, you know, sent to email or text. So that way you can do that. iPhone has a slightly different view, but it's the basic idea as you do the account settings if you want the email or phone. Okay, and here's a fun little extra that's now, okay, it's still a little bit disappointing here. doTERRA surprised us with a little August special, and unfortunately, one of these has already sold out. We have the Pilot diffuser, which was rechargeable with a USB cord and the size of a Coke can. Take it anywhere, put some water in it and a couple drops, and it'll just keep going and you can recharge it. So don't have to worry about batteries and those kinds of things. But that has sold out. They had it to where you could get both together with Harvest Spice. Now, the good news is Harvest Spice is still available. Again, you only have like today, tomorrow, and Monday to order that. As far as I
Oh,
know,
really?
yes, and I'm super excited about this Harvest Spice, and we have I think Debbie was asking questions about it. Harvest Spice has, it's, I guess if you want to compare it to one of the oils that we do already have, it's very much similar to like an On Guard, but it has a few more, I don't know, like pumpkin-y kind of, not pumpkin, I mean, because that's not an essential oil, but it's just, it's lovely. Like think of it for sure being an uplifting fall scent, and it's great. Okay, and the Brevi Kids diffuser, this white one here, comes with a 5 ml of Stronger. You'll notice that this one usually has always, up to this point, has only come in a roller bottle already diluted. So it's not something that we could have diffused up until now. And Stronger is the version of On Guard, you know, it's an immune booster in the kids collection. It has things like cedarwood, litsea, frankincense, rose. Now, I know you'll notice there's no clove in there. There's no cinnamon. All the things that we know that are so great at handling the things we don't want in our body and boosting the things we do want in our body, other than frankincense. I don't think they share any of them, but rose is so, so amazing. And so I know for sure that you will not be sorry for having that. And it smells so good, you guys. It's just, yeah, I actually, Paula's not on here, but she kind of uses that one as her signature scent because the rose is great. Obviously, it's doing really good things for her body too. Hey, so Pursue, the doTERRA convention kind of stuff is coming up September 10th through the 12th. This is awesome. It actually, again, slight disappointment, just like with the diffuser thing. I kind of hate that they are only doing it online. I've personally gone to convention 3 times, and it is such an amazing thing to be at, you know, and be present and be like, I don't know, just part of that community there of, you know, 40,000 people. But the thing is about this, they have to do it online because of COVID only. But that means that they've reduced the price of it to only $30 for 3 whole days of super packed amazingness. And I would highly suggest that you guys go ahead and go to doTERRA.com, look up the convention you know, button and take a look at kind of the cool stuff that they have. It's if you want to go ahead and get it, there is a promo code Pursue5 that will get you $5 off. There are ways to get the swag box as well, and the combined thing is only $65, which is really great. This just came in for me this past Monday or something like that. It arrived at my door. So this awesome backpack that's doTERRA branded. They have the notebook, a couple of handout things, vitamin case, and this super special Pursue oil blend that you can't get unless you get the swag bag. So very, very fun. And if you're interested about, you know, kind of hearing what's new, and you don't get your access pass, then you will definitely want to make plans for September 12th. Me and my buddies are going to be telling you about the new products that are going to be coming to you. all the new kind of fun stuff. By this time, we'll have seen 2 of the 3 days of convention, and they'll have already introduced these products to us. Sometimes it's fun, like they're very specific to show you which things they're doing, so that you can say, okay, it looks like these 2 are roller bottles. I wonder what those are going to be. This one looks like it might be another lotion of some sort, but I don't know what kind. If it's totally new, like a couple new oils. So it's all very exciting. And then the 13, your question mark, I don't know, but it's definitely very, very exciting to me. Let me think here. Where do I go to next? Okay, so today we are talking about stress, sleep, and emotions. And typically I ask you guys to tell me, you know, like basically kind of a modified thing. So, well, number 1, how often are you aware of being stressed in your daily life? Now, that's kind of an interesting question, because the whole awareness thing, sometimes you're not aware of it until for some reason your stress stops or slows down, or you get a better handle on it, or you find a new way to release it. And then you're like, oh my goodness, I've been stressed this whole time. So, but it's good for us to kind of think of that in our own mind, like how much have you been, you know, stressed that you're aware of. Then there's also the idea of you know, how concerned are you about the quantity and quality of your sleep? So sometimes we don't really have that as a focus, and sometimes we're like, oh man, if I could just get better sleep, I would do so much better at, you know, my weight loss, or at my you know, ability to think clearly, or whatever thing it may be. And then the third question is, how frequently do your emotions feel difficult to manage appropriately? And, you know, again, sometimes we don't recognize that our emotions are kind of getting away with us until something kind of bigger happens. So, so these don't always, you know, kind of combine, but oftentimes we see that they are connected. You know, you may feel super stressed and notice that your sleep is really at a bad place, and that your emotions are more difficult to manage. So I'd like you guys to kind of, you know, think through what this, like if you had to give yourself one number for all of these currently for where you're at, that would be your question number 1. So question number 1 is, on a scale of 1 to 10, for these 3 questions, do you guys see what I'm saying? Like, so give yourself a number, 0 being not a problem, 10 being this is huge, I need some serious help. Give yourself a number in the comments. Remember, I showed you guys how to put that into the chat. Okay, so give yourself a number for all of the 3 of those. Super fast little science lesson. You guys know I'm actually a homeschool mom. I did talk about the central nervous system just yesterday during the class where I was tutoring my 4 little obesitarians who are in my homeschool group. So this is kind of fun to see, like another you know, brain kind of thing. But so for the hypothalamus, this is the tiny control tower in your brain. And when you are stressed, it orders the brain to send out the stress hormones. And that is because it's supposed to be protecting you. But when you have frequent or prolonged stress hormones sent out, you have some pretty devastating effects on your physical and mental well-being. What are some of those far-reaching effects? Well, things that most of us notice the most are irritability, anxiety or depression, headaches, insomnia, poor immune function, increased blood pressure. You guys, some of these are huge. Like I really, and they all interplay, right? Because if the insomnia thing is catching up with you, the irritability grows, definitely. And then people are mad at you and you're feeling anxious. And then, I mean, it's seriously all, and this whole increased blood pressure thing also leads to headaches. There's just so many ways that this becomes a big deal. So I really would like for us to yeah, make sure that we're paying attention to this, okay? Like, notice that this is a big deal. When you, actually, yeah, well, let me do this first. 70% of problems sleeping are related to the psychophysiological issues, and like 50% are environmental, 50% are medical issues, you know, induced by medications that are causing a disruption in your sleep or whatever. But the increased cortisol level means that the melatonin levels will not be able to rise as they should to promote restful sleep. So I'd like, if you're for question number 2, tell me if you can identify one of the environmental stresses that that may cause a problem sleeping. So go ahead and just give me one. That's your question number 2. You might pick caffeine late at night. You might pick screen time. You might pick you know, whatever, other people in the house being too noisy. Like, so go ahead and put something in the comments. I'd like to see what you guys feel like is one of the environmental issues, which normally we actually are able to control. And then these ones that are the psychophysiological ones are a little trickier, but the good news is we do have some solutions for you guys. So here's an example of a nightly regimen that I think has been great. And more recently, I've been able to help some people with these Serenity soft gels. So I do have an extra little thing. The soft gels here calm the nervous system and promote healthy relaxation and sleep. The reason that these are named the same thing as the essential oil is they're meant to work in tandem. That whole restful complex thing, together with the Serenity essential oil that you wear topically, on your wrist or something like that, plus also have diffusing. It's amazing for, and I do actually know Cheryl, who was able to get off years and years of sleep meds by using these, the combination of the essential oil and this restful complex. So this also has the GABA in it, which it's not melatonin, so that you're not trying to replace what your body should be producing on its own. So this is really, really reliable way. And but my thing is, though, for people who this one doesn't seem to be working, so if you have been taking Serenity and you're like, oh, it's supposed to be the greatest thing since sliced bread for my sleep and stuff like that, if it's a problem, you may need this accentuator, the Copaiba soft gel. Now, I typically take Copaiba under my tongue. I think it has a super mild taste. I don't mind it at all. And it's, good enough for me. But for some people, they like to just have it in this, small soft gel form, so they can just, take 2 at the same time. It is really good at soothing anxious feelings. It does seriously promote the homeostasis. It has a lot of benefits. I could do a class just about Copaiba. It's so fantastic, especially I love it for muscle relaxation as well, relieving a lot of pain and inflammation. But when you combine these two, this happens to be the kicker that that really helps people knock some of these sleep issues into a better place. Here's another idea. If you happen to have the adaptive soft gels, which we're going to talk about a little bit more later, it does encourage relaxation. It has this cool ahi flower extract in it, which is proprietary and fantastic herbal blend. And it has extra GABA in it, just like the Serenity soft gels do. It's great at promoting those positive feelings. And so, especially if some of your, I don't want to say it, like if some of your issues about sleeping are related to some like heavier emotions or some dark thoughts, then this adaptive may be an even better fit for you. And again, combine it with Copaiba. You'll see this one is really good. You could just do the 2 drops under the tongue. The Copaiba soft gels don't have other things added to it. It's just 2 drops of of copaiba, and it's in a soft gel form for people who like to take it in that method. Yarrow pom capsules are kind of interesting. So typically, because it says yarrow pom and we think of that as being the beauty complex or helping our complexion quite a bit, you might think of it just as something that women do to, you know, make their skin more beautiful from the inside out. And that's true, and the way that it promotes the cellular health. But it's really interesting that so many of those things that are great for skin cell regeneration are also really great for our brain and for hitting kind of like the reset button when we are establishing new patterns, so to speak. Yarrow is the whole yarrow pom thing is yeah, if you guys want to know more info about yarrow pom, Dr. David Hill has like about an hour-long, super informative. I've actually watched it twice. I really, really liked it a lot. So you can go to YouTube and do Dr. David Hill yarrow pom, and you'll be able to find his thing about that and why you guys are really going to want some of that. So yeah, so that's an alternative nightly regimen. That's also really good. Here's something, actually, let me see what you guys put for some of your answers here. I'm just kind of curious. Bring up the chat here. Wow, okay, so some people actually are having some problems with sleep, stress, and emotions. Talking about Marie's waking up tired, stress is a constant problem. Well aware of the problems at all times. Yeah, Marie, we got to get you some help for sure. Yeah, I may have to do a little counsel with you. Okay, so Debbie and Renee both say it's screen time. That's definitely one of those environmental things. The cable box light, you have to make sure it's covered, otherwise you can't sleep. Totally know how that goes. Working late on lesson plans. One of the cats has difficulty sleeping. Yep, yeah, so who's around you waking you up? A hard time falling asleep, yeah. All right, thanks for sharing, guys. Okay, I'm going to go back and tell you about the next one, which is, here's my question for you. Other than, oh, actually, wait, I shouldn't do that. Other than lavender, what do you find helps you sleep? That's your question number 3. Other than lavender, what do you find helps you sleep? I feel like this is kind of important because everybody always says that lavender is the greatest, and I am not particularly drawn to lavender. And to be perfectly honest, I think it may have like a slightly different effect for me compared to, do you guys hear my kids singing outside the door? Yes, sorry. I promise my husband is watching them. He's just not watching, you know, while they're having a good time singing loudly. Okay, so lavender, there's kind of like an 80-20 thing where 80% of people find it amazingly calming and really great, but 20% of us know that it kind of engages our communication centers, and it kind of can sometimes make you a little bit more like just make your mind talk to itself. And it says very calming things, but it isn't necessarily helping you to sleep. So I'm a fan of alternate things besides lavender, although lavender is many people's gateway oil. All right, so I'm seeing Connie says cedarwood and vetiver. Those are so good. Yes, I love those. Marie says diffusing serenity. Surprisingly, serenity actually does pretty well for me, although it does have a lot of lavender in it, but something about the rum and chamomile and the vetiver and all the other things that are in that blend that are so lovely, they do actually help me, and the lavender seems to not affect me poorly. Yep, serenity on the wrist, good idea, Debbie. Oh, past tense and the restless leg syndrome blend. That's a good one, I bet. Yeah, because sometimes we have other physiological issues. And then balance is another one. Good job, Marcella. Oh, Renee, yes, marjoram. Oh, Marge, she is one of my favorites. Okay, I definitely have to share my screen so I can tell you guys about some of the other ones that I think are so fantastic. So vetiver is on here, and we're calling it a natural tranquilizer because it does stop the mind chatter. This one really does. Just I love it for all of those things about quieting the mind. This is also happens to be very well used for people who are on the spectrum at some level, and just helps the distractions to kind of go away. Frankincense, you guys, I think you guys already know about this, right? Like it's pretty much, Frank's good for everything. And you can trust that he's going to do a good job, whatever your issue is. It definitely helps settling the mind. This whole hyperactivity thing, or just kind of being like on alert all the time, Frank just really has a way of soothing that. So, and of course, so many good things about Frank. He's definitely one of the best guys to keep around. Bergamo is awesome as well. Very well known, very, very well known for handling some of those dark thoughts that come on a regular basis. So bergamot needs to probably be something if you struggle with some of that. And it's really great. It's a citrusy oil, but most people don't necessarily think of using citrus at night, but this is really, really helpful. Actually, I like wild orange quite a bit too. Wild orange is great for insomnia, but this bergamot is a natural sedative, which is surprising to most people because as a citrus, you wouldn't necessarily think that it would be anything other than invigorating, right? And then Roman chamomile, man, okay, so Cami and Frank are both my friends, and as is Marge, and the three of them are like my definite bedside buddies. I like pretty much all the beds around my house, in my kids' room, and next to my husband's side of the bed, my side of the bed. I keep Frank, Cami, and Marge. They are just within arm's reach because I find them to be super, super helpful. Now, one other shout out that I'd have to give to is for juniper berry. Specifically, it's great for banishing fear. So if you have like somebody who's suffering from bad dreams or things like that, bergamot, juniper berry, and say like, pick something nice and cheap like cedarwood. I like that cedarwood is not expensive, but it does have a lot of really great, extra calming powers, and specifically not lavender. So I know I keep harping on that one, but I love for people to get the support to know there's other ways besides just the the typical lavender. There's just so much more. If lavender is the gateway oil, like just don't stop there. Like enter into the gates fully and discover some of the awesome things. So again, juniper berry, marjoram, cedarwood, wild orange. What else did we say? I think you guys told me more too. What else did you guys say? Balance. Yeah, that one's the other one I was thinking of. Okay, cool. All right, let's go back and I'll tell you, we're gonna kind of get into the mood matrix here. So kind of switching into the emotions side of things. We've already mentioned serenity several times, which I think you guys have already overheard me say has, Roman chamomile, vetiver is in that mix. Lavender, of course, is probably the dominant smell. So if you are noticing that you're kind of in a place where like you just don't have any peace in your being and your body's feeling very fatigued, then serenity is going to help you be more calm, more composed, and just feel more placated. So that is going to kind of be like what you would want to go for with those particular emotions. Now, if you're not feeling any peace in your soul and just actually noticing that you're stressed out, balance may be a better fit for you because it's very grounding, reassuring, and consoling. And this one, I would say, has more of like a tree, like sprucey, furry kind of stuff. There is actually frankincense in here as well in the balance blend, and I feel like I haven't found any men who will say no to balance, whereas like sometimes they think the serenity is too florally. So this one's a nice one especially if you're trying to, help a guy who, doesn't do essential oils kind of thing. And over here, feeling stressed out and then also noticing that you have no passion, no zest for life, elevation can be a really interesting one. So there's actually a little bit of Melissa in here, which is super shifting for that whole like no passion area, the kind of like depressed state of mind. Elevation can be a really good one. I think Bergamo is in this as well. So it's inspiring, encouraging, cheering. And some people actually kind of think this helps their, focus just a little bit as well. Some of those ingredients are pretty fabulous. So elevation is a nice one to kind of get into. And another one that's, I don't want to say it's cheap because that makes it sound like it's not so valuable, but citrus bliss is, it's just so nice to diffuse. It's because it's not expensive and it has like a great combo of a different one. You'll find the wild orange and the lemon and the lime and the clementine I think is in there, bergamo's in there of course, and it has just a little bit of vanilla and it just really blends that whole combination and makes it so smooth. And so I find a lot of people really enjoy citrus bliss. I don't think we have Gina on today, but Gina recently got some of this and she just went on and on and on about how citrus bliss is so great. So that whole invigorating, stimulating, motivating kind of thing is pretty awesome. Here's a couple ideas for you guys if you are looking for some cool diffuser recipes that adapted together with wild orange. And so, I should mention to you guys too, diffusers in general, you're going to want to go for, depending on the size of your room, you're going to want to go for anywhere between 3 to 9 drops. You're pretty much never going to go over 9 drops. And so you'll see this recipe here for the Citrus Bliss Sandalwood Grapefruit Elevation, that's 9 drops. And you're like, oh my goodness, like my room, my little itty bitty bedroom, it's so small and this 9 drops is going to feel overwhelming. So here's a little tip for you. When you try this out and know that you love it, you can, like 5 times the recipe, so to speak, or 10 times the recipe, depending on how much you love it. So take one of your empty grapefruit bottles and you pop the top off. Actually, I should show you guys a little trick. You may or may not know this. When you are getting low on something and you have just a little bit left, this is how you can do it. You take it off and then turn it on just a little bit, and you can catch the what do you call this? The orifice reducer by the ridges of the thing, and that's how you can take the top off super easy if you need to get the last couple drops out, or if you're doing something like this where you want to put a different blend in there. So instead of having it have that, that last 9 drops of grapefruit, you'll just kind of 3 times the recipe, so you already have the grapefruit in there, and then you can just add in the sandalwood, the citrus bliss, and the elevation, so that you're only needing to put, say, 3 drops in your diffuser, and you don't have to open up every single bottle of that. Does that make sense? Hope that's a little tip for you guys. And I need to go ahead and do a little bit of a shout out for this adaptive collection. Most people don't know that it comes in this whole set of 3. And well, it can come in a set of 3. So the one that you really definitely would want to start with, if you're kind of like, well, I don't know if I'll like it, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, go with the cheaper Touch roller. This is the same blend of awesomeness, you guys. It's got the frankincense, the copaiba, the wild orange, the lavender, all the things that are really, really supportive for helping you come and helping you adapt to stress, right? That's why they're calling it adaptive. So that when issues come your way, you're able to pivot, right? So again, the things with the dark thoughts or overthinking, right? Letting your mind kind of get stressed or feel, have some anxious feelings. This is really, really helpful. And so the combo here of oils that I used to kind of like make up my own blend for is now an adaptive, new and improved, right? No, just kidding. The deal with this is doTERRA, when they do the touch version in the roller bottle, they find out how to get the most benefit of those essential oils. So for the perfect dilution rate where there's the least amount of flash off and the most amount of effect in your body system. So if you're only wanting to diffuse it, then you would probably go for the 15 ml bottle of the pure oil. If you know that you are really good at making your own roller bottles, then you would go with this 15 ml bottle of the blend. But if you're not sure that you're good at making your own roller bottles and you don't even have a diffuser, go with a touch roller, because when you have the oils on you is when you feel the biggest effect. And the fact that it has some fractionated coconut oil in it already means that it's going to be a little cheaper since it's not the pure oil. It's diluted to the exact ratio that's going to be very effective for you, and it's not very expensive when you get it this way, so you can try it out. And then if you guys have kind of like a more deeper issue or just need extra support, you're going to want the GABA and the ahi flower that is in the capsules as well. So there's essential oil in here, there's the ahi flower, there's just very supportive. Think of them as adaptogenics, really, is what's in there. And I will, I'll actually show you guys how to find that on your wellness box, being able to make your LRP, your loyalty rewards order. Do actually type this in the comments for me. Okay, so question number 4 is, have you ever tried any of the adaptive trio here? So if you've only done the 15 ml, you can go ahead and say yes blend, you know, or yes roller, or your touch roller, or whatever, or yes capsules. And so go ahead and put that in the chat for me. That's your question number 4. Have you ever tried any of the adaptive products from doTERRA? And so this loyalty rewards, I guess, kind of like sample wellness box where you get an idea for. You see the collection here is 82 for all the adaptive things that come all together. The wild orange is 10. The Copaiba soft gels are 32, which it's a much better price if you go ahead and get this in the, am I looking for the word? Just the like plain essential oil instead of having it in the soft gels. And then balance is huge, right? This is one that I keep around for a lot of people in my house, specifically me. I use balance every single morning without fail. I never skip putting it on my feet. And then the Copaiba actually goes under my tongue morning and night, 2 drops. Anyway, so you'll notice that as this adds up, it comes to $145, and that's 131 PV. Why would I want to spend 131 instead of just, you know, 124, for example? There are some benefits that I would like to show you guys about. There's like the free oil of the month and the product credits and things like that. So actually, let me see. Oh, have fun. Okay, so I stopped my share instead of switching to the right page that I was supposed to go to, but I am seeing that several people are trying the roller bottle plus the drops, and you know, Debbie says she's gotten the whole kit but she hasn't used it yet, and so a lot of people are liking the touch roller. The roller really is a good way to start off, especially if you're not sure if you're gonna like the smell, and the smell actually does change once it's on you for a little bit. So thank you guys for giving your answers there. I meant to hit a different button, so let me go back here and hit the correct button. Okay, so here we are at the doTERRA.com website, and what I would love to show you real fast before, oh yeah, so if you guys are also interested in the whole convention, this is kind of where you can start to go just on the main page to look up a little bit more info about it. There's a lot here about how doTERRA is doing so many fabulous things in the world. And if you either want to contribute or just know what doTERRA is doing, the Healing Hands Foundation will definitely move you to tears. There's also, you know, on here, it's a really easy way to kind of figure out more about what the co-impact sourcing thing is all about. Beautiful, be prepared to cry a couple times if you want to watch some of that, but basically, you know, that whole helping that people who are in underdeveloped areas give us a really amazing product and giving them the pay that they deserve for it. But okay, so here is the other thing that I was gonna originally show you. Here, I'm not even signed in, but you have all of this extra info that you have access to. So these ebooks are a really easy way to get a couple extra I don't know, bits of oil info, right? So essential oils and sleep, you can click into here and you can either get the audio ebook if you're someone who likes to listen on the go, or it's 14 pages, which means that when you print it out, front to back, it'll be about 7 pages long, and gives kind of the lowdown on, you know, sleep in general, and then of course brings up a lot of really interesting, you know, somewhat sciencey kind of stuff about ketones and esters and how they affect our body and stuff like that. And I think these are cool because you really kind of feel like you come out having an education. And so these ebooks are totally free for you to find. And I think it's awesome, you know, and you can go and kind of discover, you know, what you are wanting to, oh, I closed out the wrong one. Sorry. I guess I have to go back here. I was going to show you okay, so I'm going to log into my account and show you a couple cool things about the loyalty rewards order and why we love to do it that way. Actually, let me pop over here really fast too and show you one last thing. Okay, yeah, here we go. All right, so you guys, if you've heard me talk about the loyalty rewards thing before, you'll want to know these special numbers. If you are just anybody who has their account with doTERRA is getting 25% discount off of whatever you're just buying retail. And that's awesome. We like the discount in general. 25% is a pretty hefty sum. Like, it's way, way better than like Costco or BJ's or something like that. But you actually, if you choose to buy something every single month through the loyalty rewards program, then you get extra benefits. And so and during the first time you do that, if it's over 50 is where the magic begins. If it's only 49 PV, you don't get the extra benefits of having that point increase for your free products, for those credits to go. So at 10% back during the first 1 to 3 months, and you can actually space that out. If it takes you 5 months to make the 3 months, you'll get 10%, but then you'll jump up to 15 as you finish that, you know, milestone. And it'll go up to 15, then 20, 25, 30 as you continue to be a loyal customer. That's why they call it loyalty rewards. You also at 100, you qualified to receive income, which is pretty awesome. But 125, I pretty much never go under 125 because I like the free products of the month. This past month was, I've forgotten, was it Clement? No, it was
Caraway.
Thank you, caraway. Yes. Yeah. So caraway is actually an oil that we can't purchase it. It's not. So it's much more rare oil. It is in a couple of the blends. Like I think it's in the Digest Zen, and really very supportive of that, and as well as other like respiratory systems in the body. But so I like to get some of those rare oils, and being at 125 is a way for me to be able to get those and, you know, add to my collection as well. Sometimes they're also just, regular, ones that are somewhere under 20, like above 10, under $20, and getting those free is fantastic. So, and I love getting, a 55% discount on all those things. So this is how it ends up looking in my cart. So when I jump onto the doTERRA website and I've already signed in, I already have my loyalty order set up. Now I could create a one-time order. That's fine. That's always no problem. I can actually have several loyalty reward things, and sometimes I do during BOGO season or something. But I'm going to show you how I can edit my order and just take a look here. You'll notice that I have 294 reward points. And that's only within the past like 3 or 4 months because I had BOGOs, and so I got a couple extra things, right? And if I have this order go through exactly like it is right now, I will get 43 of my loyalty points, boop, jumped up onto here. So I have like, 300 and whatever that is. You guys do the math. And just however many points that is, I have 43.7 points added. And then if I want to trade those in for something, say I don't feel like paying $34 for the Intune, I just let it know that I want to use my points for it instead, and it takes my points out of my little bank there, and then I get my free stuff. So I've just redeemed my product credits. So that's really great. But let me show you this too, because I think I forgot to mention that Intune. So because we're here on the school kind of time frame, Intune has a 15% off. It's our focus blend. So if you'd like to only pay $29.32 for it and have a lot of extra support focusing, like this is the time to get it. You only have 3 days left, so don't delay. And then the same thing it's funny that Thinker actually shows it to be the same thing. It's lower as well. I can't remember what it's supposed to be, but so Motivate is fantastic during school time, or starting new cycles with school starting, or homeschool, or whatever that may be. So but instead of 15, it's only $12.75. I'm not sure why this one appears different, but it'll have a reduced price as well. Anyway, so that's how we do the loyalty rewards, and it doesn't show here which one it is for this next month. It'll be a surprise that on the 1st of September, they'll tell us what the free product of the month is. But since I'm over 125 PV product value, then I'll automatically, just whatever that is, it's going to pop into my box, and I get it for free with no extra charge. So I hope that helps you guys. Let me go back to this one. Yes. Last thing I want to make sure I cover before we switch to our basic business training is about Symphony of the Cells. You guys probably know, like last week was, all-time favorite. Symphony of the Cells is such an amazing little like application protocol collection, and I love how you get to kind of choose what it is you need. If you need help with your cardiovascular issues, or your osteoporosis, or your I'm trying to think, osteo health, there's different protocols within the Symphony of the Cells, and you guys can find that on my YouTube page to see briefly how to do that. But if you're also not sure, symphonyofthecells.com is another easy way to get, like a little 5-minute video about it. The basic idea is we have a series of oils that are very specifically chosen because of how they work as you put them along the spine and along the bottoms of the feet using reflexology. And so here is what we call the emobic protocol. And so this might be something that you guys might want to screenshot if you are needing help with both emotions and the limbic system. You would probably want to do this. So a lot of those things were handling stress and your sleep cycles and all those kinds of things. This would be a really, really great one. So this is what you're going to do. The one that's called centering blend here is actually align. Just in case we're confused about balance being the grounding blend, the centering blend is align, and that is one of the yoga collection oils. I think, is that the only, is there something else I'm supposed to say, Marcella? I can't remember. There's something else I'm supposed to share before I. Oh, thank you. So Thinker, because of being 15% off, it's $13.50. Thank you for looking that up, Marcella. That's helpful. Okay.